Hello students, as we people have discussed about human digestive system in the last class, so we have understood how our digestive system works, how our alimentary canal works, how our gut works, and how the food particles which we eat is digested up and the nutrients are absorbed and the unwanted products are excreted out. So our alimentary canal alimentary canal plays a very important role in the digestion of the food particles, but we people treat it very badly in some occasions. How? Whenever we are eating lots and lots of fat products, so what happens? Our alimentary canal is unable to digest the product. So when it is unable to digest the product, then a condition arises there. Abdominal pain, gastric problem, and vomiting. So these are the health aspect of alimentary canal. Health aspects of alimentary canal. What happens in this? When we treat our stomach, when we treat our abdomen, we treat our intestine very badly in occasions by eating lots and lots of amount of fats which are not digested by our alimentary canal. Then we suffer from gastric problems. Always we feel that our stomach is very heavy. We feel some digestion problem. We feel nausea and we just vomit it. So vomiting is a process. What is vomiting? Vomiting is the process in which the unwanted or harmful products is vomited, means is eliminated out from our body through our mouth. That means it is the process in which unwanted, undigested means the food which is not digested by our alimentary canal. Undigested, harmful products are eliminated from our body, from our stomach through our mouth. Is called vomiting. So vomiting is the process in which the harmful substances which are not digested by our intestine, our liver, and are not digested properly is eliminated out, so that we can get rid of these harmful or undigested substances, and we will not feel any type of pain here. So as I said people, that vomiting is the process of elimination of harmful products, undigested food particles and poisonous substances from our stomach through our mouth. So what happens here, as we people, when we eat anything, then the movement goes in our esophagus and in our stomach. peristaltic movement. Peristaltic movement. In this movement, what happens? It is the expansion and contraction of our esophagus, so that the food particle can easily reach into our stomach. Whenever we are eating any food particles, when we swallow it, the food, where it goes, the walls of that part just expand and the food will go down in this way. Now suppose the food was here, this part was expanded, now the food came in this part, then this part will again expand. In this way, the food particles, when it will change the position, the back in the position will take its original shape and size, and the part where it will be, their expandation will take place. Expandation. So, peristaltic movement I have given you in the last class also. I will just explain here. It is the process of the expandation and contraction of the walls of the alimentary canal, so that the food can pass from one part to the another. But in vomiting, what happens? Reverse peristaltic movement takes place. Reverse peristaltic movement takes place. Reverse why? Now the food particle has to come in the upward direction from the stomach, and it has to be eliminated through our mouth. So in this, a large amount of energy is required. That's why we people are feeling sometimes cardiovascular pain in our chest region, and some rashes in our throat region, because food is coming at a huge amount directly from our mouth. This is called reverse peristaltic movement also. Sometimes we people just when we people feel a huge amount of gastric problem, very huge amount of gastric problem, then when we vomit, the vomiting is of greenish in color. Which color vomiting is here? Greenish. Bitter in taste. This what happens in this type of vomiting? When we eat huge amount of fats, more and more fats when we are eating, then the bile juice secreted from the liver mixes with the fat and makes it poisonous. So when we vomit, the vomiting is in green in color and it is bitter in taste, hence known as liverish. Okay, so we should always eat the food which is required by our body in an appropriate amount. So doctors and biologists has given us balanced diet. Balanced diet, what it is? Balanced diet. Balanced diet is a chart. Balanced diet is just chart, or is a process in which whatever the food we are eating, it should be in appropriate amount. It should be in appropriate amount, and it should be in a routine way, that we have to take proteins daily, we have to take fats, we have to take carbohydrates, so that we don't suffer from any type of malnutrition. Here comes a new term, malnutrition. Balanced diet is a process in which whenever we are taking any diet, it should be in a balanced and in a proper amount, because our stomach is a small place. That much food only it can digest how much is required by our body. If we are overeating, if we are eating more and more very tasty food, if we are eating more and more, then we are suffering from indigestion problem. So to get rid from these problems, we should always take the food in the balanced diet way, and balanced diet always protects our body from malnutrition. So what is malnutrition? Malnutrition is a disease. It is a disease in which the body of a human being, the body of a human being is suffering from deficiency of nutrition, in which the human being is suffering from deficiency of nutrition. So to get rid from this process, to get rid from malnutrition, what we have to do? What we have to do? We should take the food always in a balanced diet way. Balanced diet. We have to take. Number 2. Take food on proper time. Take food on proper time. Breakfast is compulsory. Breakfast is compulsory. Eat less amount of junk food. Junk food means roadside foods, and include proteinous food in your diet. Include proteinous, nutritious food in your diet. So these are the way in which we can get rid from malnutrition. So malnutrition, actually this disease is mainly caused in India. Mainly in India we see that poor people, children are suffering from in India, poor people, children are suffering from mainly malnutrition. Why? Because they don't have sufficient amount of money to include the proteinous thing or the nutritious thing in their food for the developing children. So what are the deficiencies? Number 1 is protein deficiency. The children suffers from protein deficiency. The next one is calorie deficiency. And the last one is protein calorie deficiency. Protein calorie deficiency. Protein deficiency, calorie deficiency, and protein calorie deficiency. These are the major 3 types of deficiency which the children of the Indian poor family children suffers. So what are the diseases? Diseases caused by malnutrition. What are the diseases? Number 1, kwashiorkor. Kwashiorkor. Have you heard the name of the film PK? Here I am giving you a trick how to learn. P means protein. And K for kwashiorkor. This is related. So here I am giving you a trick PK. PK is the name of a movie. You will learn it very properly. PK means a disease caused due to deficiency of protein. So kwashiorkor is caused by the deficiency of protein. Protein deficiency disease. So if your teacher is a teacher is asking your question that name a disease which is caused by the deficiency of protein, then you just remember the word PK. PK means kwashiorkor is a disease which is caused by the deficiency of the protein. So how you will know that a small baby is suffering from kwashiorkor? So what are the symptoms here? Okay, as I said that kwashiorkor is a disease which is caused due to the deficiency of protein in our diet. That means when we are taking less amount of protein, then we suffer from a disease that is known as kwashiorkor. And how we will know that the child, that the baby is suffering from this type of disease? So what happens whenever we see this type of children, we will see some signs and symptoms. The symptoms are swollen face. Their face will look swollen, and their body also. Why? Due to accumulation of water, in their intracellular space. Number 2, very poor muscles development. Very fluffy face, very difficult to eat. Number 4, dry skin, diarrhea. Always these type of children are suffering from this symptoms. That means their face will become swollen and their body will also become swollen because they are not getting sufficient amount of protein in their diet, and due to the accumulation of water in our body, we have some empty spaces that is known as intracellular spaces. In that space, the spaces will be filled with water. Hence, they will accumulate more and more water in their intracellular spaces, so their face and body will become swollen. Very poor muscle contraction, muscles development. The muscles on their body will be very less. Very poor muscle development, fluffy face. The face will become fluffy, means swelling type. So it will always, they will suffer from pain, facial pain. And due to that, they will face some problems in eating also. Skins will become dry and diarrhea. So these are the symptoms. These are the signs and symptoms of a baby, of a children who are suffering from protein deficiency disease known as kwashiorkor. Now we will discuss about another deficiency disease. Please, you people, write the note in your notebook and make the diagram properly label it. Now, So now we discuss about another disease, that is marasmus. Marasmus is a disease which is caused due to the deficiency of calorie and protein in our body. Caused due to deficiency of deficiency of protein and calorie in our body. So what are the signs and symptoms? This disease is mainly caused in the children when the mother is having repeated pregnancies. Means if the mother is not having a gap between the birth of two childs. It means when she has given birth to one child, again she had a pregnancy period. So in this condition, what happens? The baby becomes lean and thin. The baby becomes lean, thin, and weak. The baby becomes lean, thin, and weak. The baby will have poor concentration, poor muscles concentration, poor muscle concentration. Their limbs will become swollen limbs. Number 4, dry skin. And number 5, diarrhea. So these are the symptoms of the disease marasmus. This disease is caused by the deficiency of protein and calorie in our diet. So how we will identify how this disease occurs? This disease occurs in the baby due to the mother's fault. If the mother is having repeated pregnancy, then the baby is suffering from lean and poor muscle concentration. The baby is becoming lean, thin, and weak. Their limbs are becoming swollen. Their skins are becoming dry, and they are suffering from diarrhea. So a mother should always keep in mind that when she is giving birth to 2 or more than 2 children, actually it is blended. Only parents are having right to give birth to only 2 children, that they should have a proper gap period of at least 3 to 4 years, so that it will not cause any ill effects on the baby. So these are the 2 diseases which I discussed. Now I am going to discuss about the 3rd disease, which is very common to you people. You people have seen very fatty person, very fatty. You just in a joke you say that he is an obesity patient. Obesity. Here comes a new word, obesity. You people are very much familiar with these words, that obesity is a disease. Obesity is a disease in which the body of a person becomes fatty. How? Due to the consumption of more and more fats in their diet. Eating more and more junk foods. So here comes another disease, obesity. It is caused due to more intake. And here it is not a deficiency. When we are taking more intake, what we are taking more? Intake of fats. That means when a person is eating more and more fatty products, when he or she is eating more and more junk foods, then the person is suffering from obesity. They are becoming fat. So what happens in this disease? This obesity gives rise to heart disease, that is known as cardiovascular disease. Cardiovascular disease, kidney problem, diabetes, etc. So whenever we are eating anything, thing. These when we know about these three diseases, then we should always keep in mind that whenever we are eating anything, so the amount should be in a proper manner. We should not eat more and more, neither we should eat less and less. Means it should be appropriate so that we should gain proper body growth, proper mental growth, as well as we can do our work easily. So these are about the proteins and calorie deficiency which we have seen in the malnutrition section. Now we will read about vitamins. Vitamins are required by the body, but in a very small amount. It is not synthesized in our body. We just take it from outside. So vitamins are of two types: fat soluble vitamins and water soluble vitamins. Fat soluble and water soluble vitamins are of two types. Fat soluble vitamins, here comes A, D, K and E. But in water soluble vitamins, there is only B and C. So these are the vitamins which are required by the body in an appropriate amount, but in a small ratio. It is required in a micronutrient form. So you are having the chemical names of these vitamins. So I will discuss this also. As students, I said that vitamins are of two types: water soluble vitamin and fat soluble vitamin. In fat soluble vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin K and vitamin E comes. But in water soluble, vitamin B and C is only there. So I said that all the vitamins are having some names, chemical names. Vitamin A is known as retinol. Due to the deficiency of vitamin A in our diet, we people are suffering from a disease known as night blindness. Due to the vitamin B is known as riboflavin. Due to the deficiency of vitamin B, we are suffering from a disease known as glossitis, which means cracks. Here in this part, in the mouth corner part, this part just cracks. Vitamin C is known as ascorbic acid. We suffer from a disease known as scurvy. Vitamin D is known as calciferol. We suffer from a disease known as rickets. Vitamin E is known as tocopherol. Here the person is suffering from fertility disorders. Vitamin K is known as phytoquinone. Here the person is suffering from delayed blood clotting. Delayed blood clotting means, suppose when we get cut in our body part, the layer, the thromboplastin layer, which helps in the coagulation of the blood, which helps in the clotting, so that the excess amount of blood does not flow out from our body, that clotting will come late, and in that condition we will suffer from blood loss. So these are the vitamins, these are the deficiency disease. With this, we people have completed chapter 1. So you people just write the notes, do it, and thank you.